What's up, guys? It's your favorite student entrepreneur. I don't need to keep repeating myself. You guys know my time is super limited. So, what I do is 1 hour a day on my business while I'm in school. All I can say is the feeling of logging into your computer and seeing your employees having completed their tasks, giving you a nice quick status update, and just to see the gears of business turning without you having to be there in the trenches is really, really incredible. I want to talk right now a little bit about a couple things I've noticed in how to effectively manage the communication with your employees or with your contractors. What I've found is that in communication, you want to be efficient and minimize the amount of time that you spend communicating with them, unless something specific comes up. But you really want to reduce your time investment as much as possible in the day-to-day operations of the business so you can focus on expanding the business. Now, what I've found is that it actually works wonders to limit yourself to only sending one piece of communication to your employees per day. So for me, I go to class, then I might go to the gym, then I'll give myself an hour of work and I'll check in, and that's the only time I'll send my employees or contractors a message. So you end up phrasing things, you break it down, point 1, 2, 3, 4, and you might say, hey, I want you to update this. If that's not possible, then do this. Please let me know when this will be done. It just becomes very ordered and it's very task oriented because you're under the assumption I'm not going to be there for follow-up questions, and your staff will come to know this. So they'll learn to be able to just execute off of your short communication. Now, when I first started, I would constantly have my Messenger app open. We use an app called Slack. I would say, hey, Shannon, let's do this. And then she might say, okay, that sounds good. Quick question, what about this? And I'll say, okay, for that, we'll do this. Then she'll come back and say, okay, that's all finished, but this one thing came up, and how about that? And I know every hour I'd be checking in and updating her and dealing with these little questions. And then I just set the precedent of only checking once a day. And you'll find the communication just falls into an effective state when you do this. It forces you to be concise and to address follow-up questions before they arise. Things that have come up is my staff has learned to adapt to that. One really cool moment is when my staff asked me a question about a client report and I didn't get back to her, and the deadline had approached when she was supposed to send it off. So then she sent me a message, said, hey, Sean, I haven't heard back from you, so I went ahead, made my best estimate of what I thought I should do and sent it anyway. And that is exactly, as a manager, what you want to have happen. You want to give your staff autonomy to make these kind of decisions. And this frees up so much time. And at the end of the day, in that case, my staff did make the right decision. It was just regarding a little question on their report. And 90% of the time, your staff is going to make the right decision. 10% of the time, they might make the wrong decision. But the time saved from not micromanaging them, the benefit gained from that outweighs the cost of the occasional wrong decision. And this is so key. This ties back into prioritizing your time over anything else. Right? Any day, your time is the most valuable asset. Don't spend 2 hours fixing a minor problem. Just let it ride and focus your time on revenue generating activities, business development activities. So again, my rule of thumb when dealing with your staff is only talk to them once a day, and in your communication, try to address everything you can. That's what I wanted to say on that. Okay, so I'm working on some Facebook ads right now, and I'll really quickly show you an example of a good Facebook ad versus a mediocre Facebook ad. And I'll be honest, the mediocre one is one that one of my staff made, and I've had to go in and coach her on how to make better ads. And I guess I do take it for granted. You have to have just a good business sense about you to understand what kind of ads are going to work. But even if you don't have a great business sense, if you A/B test a ton of them, then 1 or 2 will probably work. I've A/B tested 60 different ads under the same ad set before. So let me quickly show you 2 examples here. All right, so this is an example of a not so good ad. And I do have to cover out my client's name just for confidentiality, but This client does marketing for real estate agents, and basically they're trying to get real estate agents to contact them. They do like SEO and content marketing. This ad here, the first line says, land the best properties in Vancouver by being on the first page of Google, get your free initial analysis today. A pretty generic for sale sign. And then the title, be the top realtor in Vancouver. Again, that sounds very generic to me. And then it says, we'll calculate the amount of new business you would get per month. If you were on the first page of Google, get your free initial analysis today. So, the word free has been used a lot. It's quite generic. It's not terrible, but if I was scrolling through my Facebook, I probably wouldn't press this. Now let me show you an example of a better one. With this one, I say, the company is offering a complimentary report that estimates exactly how many more potential clients would contact you per month if you showed up on the front page of Google. Click to learn more to get your personalized report within 24 hours. Then it says, realtor in Vancouver. Google it. Do you show up? This term is searched 50,000 times every single month. 93% of these prospects click on a realtor who shows up on the first page of Google. It's not as hard as you think to get there. In fact, we make it our job to get our clients there. Now, in my opinion, a lot more thought has gone into this ad than the prior one. It's a less generic picture with that big for sale sign, and it's more captivating. It shows more information. It adds a little more value right off the bat, and it just doesn't blend in with all the other ads as much. I wrote this in maybe 20 minutes, if that, and I don't want to be too hard on my staff, but this is the hard thing about hiring people, is that it's really hard to hire someone who's going to do as good a job as you do. It just comes with getting a sense of the business. But the point here is that when you're making advertising copy on any medium, I don't have to tell you this, but the important thing is to make it stand out. And it's not as hard as you think. Just don't be generic. Don't write free in all caps. Don't put an exclamation mark after every single sentence, and don't use a big for sale sign. Honestly, that's generic stuff that everyone else is doing. Put a bit more thought into it and try to make it a bit more unique. Give a little bit more value. And, that's going to make it convert much better. In this case, hey, maybe I'm wrong. Maybe this ad's not going to work. I don't know yet. But what I do know is that I'm running both of these side by side, and through A/B testing them like that, Facebook or the market is going to tell me which one does better, and then I'll use that evidence to keep going forward. I wish I had the time to run all my own campaigns, but I don't, so I have to delegate. And, the unfortunate reality is the people you delegate to are never going to do as good a job as you can. That's the reality of delegation. When you guys, if you're in a business that does Facebook ads, that does any kind of ads, think about this quick little example. Feel free to drop me a comment if you are working in a business that does Facebook ads. And, if you do ads for clients, really understand the type of business your clients do so you can make a compelling ad for them. That's all for today, guys. A bit of a shorter vlog this evening. Till next time, I'll see you soon. If you've liked this, please comment, share, and subscribe. It means a ton to me that some of you guys are following along with the journey. Till next time.